Nothing to fear, yeah, we they are clear. BlonkoPro voice in your ear. Talk life, talk craft, real truth appear. Welcome to the podcast, nothing to fear.
Hey. And welcome back to the Nothing to Fear podcast. It's season 2, episode 20. And guess what? My co host is in the house. I'm going to introduce her in a few after I go over my ritual. You know, it's a Nothing to Fear podcast, it's a people's podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. Press that button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's People's Podcast. Have that conversation. Shout out to all the fans that streaming. I appreciate you guys. I see you guys reacting and I love it. It's been great. It's been a great journey. So this is season 2, episode 20. And today, I don't know, it's kind of feeling special. Kind of feeling different today. You know what I mean? I'm going to explain later on. Let's get into the regular intro. Welcome to the Nothing to Fear podcast, where pleasure build diamond and fear get left at the door. I'm your host, BlonkoPro, with my co-host back in the building after 2 weeks of absence because of personal stuff that you can't do nothing about it. Shit happens. What we're gonna do? Coming straight out of New York, where every day is a test and every move is intentional. This isn't just a podcast. This is real life. Let's get to it. So welcome back to the Nothing to Fear podcast. Co-host Alex was out for 2 weeks because of personal stuff. I miss you so much.
I missed you too. We're back though.
We're back.
We're back better than ever. We got matching fits.
Oh shit! Did we plan this?
Woo! Nope. Or did we?
I was like,
or did we? Did we?
did we? Does it look like it's planned? I mean, you tell us. Tell us in the comment section.
The world may never know.
That's the comment. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's a BlonkoPro trucker hat. I mean, only available for orders, pre-orders. It's not available in the store. I mean, it's a limited edition collection, so you have to pre-order it. So, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Life's been so busy.
Yeah.
And like managing. I think like maybe we don't talk about this as much just as humans, but like managing life, man.
Managing life.
It's like, whew.
It could get challenging.
It really can be.
It could get challenging.
And you got to figure out what part of your life I think is off balance. And for me right now, I'm really figuring out what my purpose is when it comes to what I'm going to do with my life. Like I've been in the same career since I graduated, and noticing when you feel like there's a shift in your happiness, and then after you notice it, how long it takes for you to actually do something about it is critical. But it's a process.
You know what?
Process.
They have a saying, timing is everything. And when you have to step, you got to convince yourself at some point. You know what I mean? You got to punch yourself a little bit and be hard on yourself and say, it's go time.
Yep.
Go time.
When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, of course, it's go time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
If there's anything in the way, you know what I mean? You know, it's nothing to fear.
Yeah. Nothing to fear.
We get out there. Blanco.
That's it.
Yeah. It's good having you back, though.
Thank you. I know, it feels good to be back. This is such a relief to my day-to-day.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Feels like it's been longer.
It feels,
Yeah.
because you've been dreading it. So
Yeah.
when you dread stuff, it take longer.
Yeah, truly. What we getting into today?
Oh, man. You see, you set the tone with that intro that you had, that conversation about, you know what I mean, leveling up and moving on. You know what I mean, coming to that big word of making that step. So we're going to dabble into a lot of stuff that been affecting a lot of people. You know what I mean? Some people find the urge to get over it. Sometimes, even though people may seem like they don't have problems, there's still problems that occur every now and then where you have to convince yourself that there ain't no giving up, there ain't no laying up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that, I think it's all not moving and resisting when we know inherently that it's time to take a step forward that feeling and that trepidation usually comes from fear.
Perfect word. And there's stuff too that you gotta understand, that you gotta pace yourself in life too on a regular day-to-day basis, because even though you may have that fear, sometimes that fear may not be the fear that really affecting you, because there's a saying that chasing success can make you lose your mind. You know that, right? It can be a disease.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
so it depends on how you use fear. You could use it based on the analogies that you're going to talk about, the complex. You know what I mean?
Have you ever heard the acronym that FEAR stands for false evidence appearing real?
Yep.
It's so true,
It's
right?
a fact. It's right on point.
Like,
right on point.
fear is not knowing, what will be. And so if we are spending time in the thought of fear and therefore the feeling of it, we're really just spending time in something that hasn't even been created yet.
And there's this thing, like I said, when you think that you know it all and you think that you got it, there's this thing that we call success. It can drive us crazy too, because you don't want to get lost in the process of chasing success. You don't live no life. You know what I mean? A lot of people see people out there doing it, like even the people that lead us. We think their life is nice. You know what I mean? You don't want to have sleepless night. We don't have to sit down and think about, thought process the stuff that you had to do to be where you're at. Sometimes you do some devilish things to get there.
Yeah. And the definition of success varies so much, right? Like, success to one person could be, monetary, like how much money you make. Success to another person could be feeling happiness and whatever that looks like to them.
It's on your experience. What do you call success? You know what I mean? But there's a success that you could get lost in chasing money, and that could damage you. You know what I mean? Damage your life, damage your family life, damage everybody that's in the way, because you're thinking on and not letting up,
Yeah.
not letting anything through the gate. You know what I mean? Not giving anybody a break. You know what I mean? Not be considerate. You know what I mean? That's what we live by. By the people that's up there. You know what I mean? That's what they do to us on a day-to-day basis. So conversation depending on what are people sacrificing for money, fame, and status? Is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it?
I think it is not worth it when you start compromising your morals, your values, family, ethics. I really don't. And also, I think our definition of success has devolved, I want to say. Like, I would say evolved, but especially with capitalism, right? And like corporations and like all of small businesses losing like the authority that they used to have because now big conglomerates rule the system. It's like success is now climbing the corporate ladder, right? Or success is now not that, because the people that are awake see that true success is being unchained from the system.
The word is, though, like, for me, the word is, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that point?
Right. Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because I'm not going to sacrifice family time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sacrifice vacation. I'm not going to sacrifice, the little things. You know what I mean? The little things that's going to keep you happy, because you need that to keep your sustainability.
Yeah.
To keep you focused. You know what I mean? Some people give up all of that, and that's where the problem comes in. Then their life becomes misery. You know what I mean? Even though you're getting that money don't really make you happy. You know that?
No,
right?
it doesn't. There was a study that was done on income that showed up to a certain percentage, I think it was like up to $76,000. This was like years ago, so it's probably not this anymore, but up to that amount of money where you're basically making enough to get your needs met. You have a roof over your head, you have food, water, etc. That is the cap in which money can make you happy, is your needs being met. And so after that,
Comfortably.
yeah. Yeah. But like your needs being met, right? Which yes, I guess is true comfort for a human being. And after that, it's just hoopla because then, you slowly expand yourself to become relative to whatever you're making, whether it be maybe you're choosing to save more or maybe you're choosing to spend more. And then is that spending things and are the things adding value to like happiness?
You always hear
Not
the,
necessarily.
you always hear the saying that people sell their soul. You know what I mean? Selling your soul is, I think it's real. Because if you're willing to sell your happiness, your family time, you know what I mean? God's, even praying, it's that's selling your soul.
I think, like, if we take the music industry, for example, I think people get caught up into selling their soul. You know what I mean? Because there's this temptation of them being so passionate about what they do and their music, and they work so hard that they know that signing to a label is going to take them to the level they want to get. But it's also that unknown of what happens when you do sign to a label, that once you're signed,
What's in
you
the
start
fine print?
correct.
You gotta make sure you pay attention to that fine print, because when that done, it's in there. All the clauses in there. That's why it's good to have a lawyer when you're doing stuff like those. Let them pay them to come through that contract. So it's been happening in the old days. I don't think the kids nowadays really fall for it because they have so much options and so much mediums and so much different ways of getting to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I watched this music video. Maybe some of you have seen it. It's Ariana Grande just came out with a music video, and it's like very metaphorical to the industry and how essentially in the music video she keeps showing up to this, like I guess it's to try to get a role for a movie, and every time she's changing herself to try to fit into the box of what they want for the movie role. And, it's like 3 big wig white guys who are like judging her and basically being like, no, not enough. No, didn't make it. And it's just the ways that people have to change who they are and how they show up in order to fit into the industry standards is like the finest of lines. And like you said, you do sacrifice yourself. You do compromise yourself. And then a lot of these people get to a point where they don't even know themselves, right?
It's the same thing of like an artist, right? She's a 90s artist or 2000 millennium artist. Like you trying to convert into what's going on now. It's like, nah, it doesn't work. It's the same thing they're trying to do with Grande. You know what I mean? Remember, she was a kid. She was a Disney girl. Right?
Yep.
She was a favorite person for all kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was how many years ago?
Correct. Years ago. And now she's like...
They're trying to get her evolve into what's going on now, which is going to be very difficult for her.
Yeah.
She's not used to that format. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That's why it's good to, when you're successful, it's good to manage your money so you don't have to fall into a desperate situation where you have to make a desperate move. And then you're going to have to live with it for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? It's good to invest in yourself morally. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about when you work for a corporation that you're not aligned with in terms of like something you really want to do, and makes you happy and adds value, the money can only get you so far, right? Like if you don't feel like there's purpose in what you're doing in your job, you are going to ultimately feel unhappy eventually, right? The money might take you to a certain point, but then you're like, okay.
You see that door that they have that they classify as success? That door is a big metal door and it's hard to get through. And you have to make decisions.
Correct.
And give up a lot to get through that door. Do
Yeah.
you want to be in that door though?
Yeah.
Do you want to go through that door? I don't think I want to go through that door.
Correct.
I don't want to go through that door. I'm fine with a comfortable life like you mentioned earlier. You know what I mean? Can afford the regular stuff in life that you don't have to be searching for. You know what I mean? Your kids are fine. You could take a vacation. You know what I mean? You could relax. But the way the system set up, it's like a puzzle that for you to figure it out, you have to give up something to get through that door.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Here we go. Protecting the next generation, right? Mentoring, social media, violence, mental health, giving young people directions. It leads right back to that right now. How today generation, my question to you, how you think today generation how we got to deal with that? How we got to approach that?
Well, I think we definitely need to start by being the ones to take initiative, right? And figuring out how to connect and how to approach kids in this generation in the best way that makes them feel open. And sometimes there's a disconnect, right? Because they're used to communicating with, more technology than millennials and so on. So when it comes to mentorship, being the person to step up, or of course there's organizations where you can volunteer, but even if you have a kid in your life that that is maybe the only adults in their world are their parents, how can you be a supporter, and how can you lean in? And maybe you see the kid is passionate about a certain sport and you used to play that sport, like finding the ways to connect, finding the ways to, like, our benefit as our generation is we loved playing outside, right? Yep. We grew up outside. So if that's our strong suit, how can we lean into the children today to show them the benefits of being outdoors and what that brings when you really get out of the cell phones? And
it's so difficult to really achieve that in this today world because of how the system, how the things is set up. Most, even in my culture, like you don't find co-parenting at its best because there's always something there to push it away. Like, it's either, if you're not seeing eye to eye, we should have a development where we have like an understanding that no matter what, if we're not liking or loving each other anymore, we're gonna be there for the kids. We're gonna co-parent. But for most part, the system get involved. The system have a part to play, and for me, I think that's how they become dominant, by separating families.
yeah.
Because I must show a perfect example. Look at the Jewish community. You see how they combine and they make sure that they stick together.
Yep.
That's strength right there. That's unity. And they did not fall for it. No matter what, they did not fall for that. Their system is their system. We're governed by the system that's controlled people. And then we fall for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in order for us to change any of that, I think we need to get back to the drawing board as a core parenting culture and say, oh, this is what we want for a child. And like in episode 19, I was talking to Gail Cameron, and we touched the topic of building that band, that unity that's going to change our kids' life and generation to come.
Where did you guys get with that? Like, how do we do that? Like, what's the first step?
The first step is building that unity, that morals in families where, you know what I mean, you make sure that the kids grown, show them the different way from how we grow up, you know what I mean, as a unit. Don't fall for the system, and just like, for instance, our culture, I'm going to pay because that's what I know about more. I see so many people walking down the street every day, a couple, live in love, harmony, until that kid come and play. That child come and play, everything change after that. Everybody starts securing what they think is best for them for the next 18 or 21 years. You know what I mean? That separated us because you make the system controlling you now. You're not thinking for yourself anymore because you start thinking selfish. That's the selfish ways of thinking that, okay, we were together, but we're separated now. But my affirmation, my confirmation is to bring you to the court system where I'm going to get that money every month. And that's all you think about as a mother, not thinking about the whole thing about, okay, they're separating us. Where the child go? We start thinking selfish. How are we going to grow this child now? Because sometimes a man don't have it. He don't have to have it all the time. How about co-parenting? If I don't have it, you got it, right? You as a mother could fall in line. Like, you could take the space, the gap up. You know what I mean? What if I got sick? If I get sick for a month, I'm not feeling good for a month, I don't have it. But yet, if you bring me into the court system, I still have to find that money for that month. And I'm not saying that a father shouldn't be there, but stuff happens.
Yeah. Like, I think the system is one, obviously, massive piece of it. And then I think another piece, which also is connected to the system, right? None of these things exist in a silo, but is like, what is breaking within the relationship when the kid gets involved, right? Is it resources? Is it like the way that the two people are communicating? Like, what starts to break when? Is it the idea of the child, or like knowing the child's on the way, or once the child is born, the stressors?
That's a very, very, very good question. Do we have an answer for that question, though? Because, I don't know. You have, as a co-parents, or the parents of that child, have to figure out that I'm going to prioritize the kid. I'm going to forget about what we think, how we think about each other. This is why important. That's the only way we can change the world and give these kids a different direction, because kids need both parents in their life. I don't care what nobody has to say.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on that because I want to give you an example. Like, for example, I grew up without my dad, and I think there are situations, and I've talked to like people who have had parents who have divorced later in life, whereas my parents divorced earlier in life. Looking back now, I think that while my father's absence created the version of who I am today, I think had my parents stayed together, that would have been more toxic for my development and like me seeing a relationship example than him being gone. I think my mom was able to be an ideal parent, whereas I think if they were together, because they had so much relationship issues and they couldn't put their things aside, it was almost of benefit to me for them
not to have him around.
Correct.
I understand where you're going because you experienced that.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, what I'm trying to say, we can change about that. Prioritize the child. I mean, no matter what, don't show the child that relationship, even though it's hard. You know what I mean? Because remember, kids are the future. They're tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why we have so much problems in the world, because kids don't have both parents in their life. You know what I mean?
I fully, I'm aligned with that.
You know what I mean?
Because even if two people divorce, like for the betterment of the relationship itself, it doesn't mean that one of the parents should not be there.
How about this? Suggestion. I think the more fitter parents should have the child. And then we can co-parent based on our strength. You know what I mean? Don't think about our personal vendetta that we have against each other. We have to deal with that based on, and happiness is everything. Sanity is everything. If it's not working out, it's just not working out. That shouldn't involve the kid. The kid is innocent coming in this world. We need to lead them on the right path. You know what I mean? We need to be there for them. No matter what happening, when it's time for us to come together, we have to, as a grown, experienced parent, put that aside and roll our sleeve up and grow this kid. Try to grow this kid. And tell this kid, don't hide anything from them either. Let them know straight up, this is not working out. It's not working out between me and your mom. Don't get them involved into all of that. I mean, there's not much to explain when it comes on to that. I just think, because I did that. I raised my daughter. I bring her up. I raised her like single. I'm a single parent. You know what I mean? It wasn't working out between me and her mom. You know what I mean? And I did not try to chastise her or devalue her or anything, even though we're not seeing eye to eye. Things happen. You know what I mean? That's why it's very, I don't know, man. I think from the beginning, in the beginning, they taught us the wrong way. They misled us
Yeah.
in a lot of stuff. They misled us in a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That's just for us to figure it out and understand that for us to change the world, we have to start growing our kids and taking our kids seriously.
For sure, for sure. And there's no blueprint, right? Like there's no
No,
there's no
there's no
manual
blueprint.
of like this is exactly how to do X, Y, and Z. And I think
Instinct.
yeah, so much like there you can buy the baby books and you can read all of the like topical things, but I think when it comes to human relationships, they're so complicated. There's so many things that are interwoven into interpersonal relationships.
Oh my God, there's so much stuff right now, man. We're in so deep. We got so much work to do. Oh my God, it's not even. Sometimes it doesn't even seems like it's attainable. You know what I mean? But there's still hope. And we have to hang on to that and keep it positive. You know, because I'm telling you, we need some form of direction for our kids.
Yeah.
The illusion of social media success. Oh my God.
That's a big one. I feel like I definitely fall victim to seeing things on social media and then interpreting it as success, right? A level of success. And then comparison is the thief of all joy, yet I do compare. And it's like, oh, I'm not there. And then it becomes this like lack mindset of deficiency rather than what I have going on is enough. I don't know. How do you view social media when you're on and scrolling?
I don't really scroll on social media. To be honest with you, I don't do this.
Probably for the better.
Yeah, because I'm not on social media for all of that. I'm on social media to sell the brand,
Yeah.
to market the brand. Everybody uses it in their own little ways. You know what I mean, sometimes I share my experience. You know, if I travel somewhere and I want to share it, somebody may want to go where I show them. You know. What I mean? Expose something that somebody never see. That's my ultimate goal on social media. My goal on social media, where I see the misconception, the lies, the fakeness, the looking rich. You know what I mean? And then the kids fall for it because they like look good things.
Yeah.
Because that's their Bible. You know that?
For sure. Yeah, they like the shiny things.
They like the shiny things. That's their Bible.
Yeah. And I think, like even the millennials, I think we grew up in a generation where if it's broken, like it's replaceable really easily rather than like working to fix something. And that includes relationships. Whereas I think, I look at my mom's generation, like the baby boomers and Gen X, and there is this grit in understanding that in order to fix something, you don't just have to throw it away and get a new one. You work through it, right? That's how the relationships back in the day used to go, right? But yeah, new generations, it's like, ooh, I want the shiny thing, and it's really easy to get captivated by things that look nice and not really have the full context behind them.
They fall for it because they know nothing else. And do you think that they should keep certain age group off social media?
100%. 100%.
Because I think it's destroying the society.
I agree.
These kids are falling for the stuff that it's like I said. It's their Bible. Isn't the initial Bible? That's their Bible. That's their truth.
Yeah. 1,000%. There definitely needs to be more limitations, and then that goes back to we've had this conversation, but parents can only regulate so much because now in like a lot of schools they use tablets and they use different technologies that get in front of the children. So even if you monitor it at home, they go to school and then they probably come home and they're like, well, I want this because we do this at school,
That's where co-parenting come back because you got to let them know from jump from this. So understanding like that's not real. Please don't fall for that. I mean, do not fall for that. That's not real. If you want to be in here, make sure you're going to be in here to make an impact, not to misguide somebody as kids or to misguise the nation.
You know what I saw on social media the other day is they now have a college class where you can get a degree in social media influencing.
Oh my God! You know how many kids gonna fall for that?
I'm sure it's going to become one of the like biggest, most popular majors. Or
I know I'm gonna get bashed for this one. For even like TikTok, like TikTokers, they get more love than people that out here grinding and really doing the honest work, and they get more love. And I'm not bashing it, but I'm just saying that that's where the world is leading into. For you to sit in front of a camera and just ask people for money, like, didn't you think that's deteriorating?
don't like I agree. There are like ways in which like people approach social media that is just it's not adding value. But I do think on the other hand, to be devil's advocate here, I've seen like thanks to social media like TikTok, like people are exposing ways of informing people like with information that we never had before, right? Like, and so there's so much positive thanks to how much social media can access and touch across the world. But then on the flip side, you have people that there's like the underworld of social media, and then like the world where like there's adding value, and that's like the dichotomy of it. It's like evil and not.
It's crazy because you see the economy how it's going on right now, and you can walk and you can see all the businesses that's going out, and I understand that people have to evolve and people have to understand that this is the new way of life. How many people you think is going to really take a grasp of that? It's unfair.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people. That's why the economy is like this. That's why the small businesses is not making it, because people are not willing to use the AIs and the chat GBT, because I use it because I benefit from it. It really helped me. It really helped me grow my business. You know what I mean? And that's the way. And I want to try to tell these small businesses out there, please get on it. You know what I mean? It's a tool that you can use to grow your business.
Yeah.
That's a way right now. Get evolved, because it's not looking pretty out here at all. And nothing to fear. What's holding you back? You were talking earlier about your work, how you get over it. You're to the brim right now. What do you think is the major thing that's holding you back?
I think if we go more in depth with fear, I think it is self-limiting beliefs. I think when we're in the energetic state of fear, there's thoughts, there's the emotions and energy that comes with those thoughts. Like, I guess, for example, thinking, oh, well, what if I make less money in the next job that I get, right? And then that makes me also think about maybe there's a bigger pattern here for me and a bigger connection of what is my relationship to money and success.
You're saying that it's a fear of failure then? Fear of failure?
Fear of failure because of this relationship of money being tied to success. Like, how will I view myself and how will others view me if I'm not making as much money? Which is crazy, because now that I'm even talking about it out loud, it's not like people know how much I make. It's just like my own internalized beliefs that are like filling me with doubt. And then there's like, what if the grass isn't always greener? What if I leave and, it's something. What if I take the risk and then I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have taken the risk?
You should never have those two tied together. You should just take the risk.
Right. Exactly. So
great is the risk is the reward. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You should just take the risk. I just think that you should just have a thought process about it and just go for it. You know what I mean?
even the thought of wanting to take a risk, like where my mind is now is like so developed from wanting to do this that it's like, you're right, the two shouldn't be connected.
I think everybody got fear.
It's true,
It's
because
about
it's
overcoming it.
Wait, say it again.
Overcoming the fear. You have the fear, but you got to find a will to overcome the
Correct.
fear.
And the lesson that comes from that, and like that's where I think is going to be. I was thinking about this today. Like on the other side of taking this risk is me unlocking this like previous notion of success and income, right? When right now I genuinely feel in my body, and I just said this earlier in the podcast, like money is not tied to success.
No.
It's literally not, but something in me still believes that. And I think the only thing that's going to break that is taking this risk.
It's me personally, my campaign is not about money, it's about freedom.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't be
Yeah.
having money in my mind. It's about freedom, you know. It's about the what if, you know what I mean? The careful of the decisions that you make, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I have my bills to pay. You take money to pay it.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't wear the money on the top of my forehead, you know what I mean? Even though BlonkoPro is the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For
So,
sure. For sure. And yes. Like it's definitely not, and I think like that's where lifestyle, right? Like how much has my income now become a relative projection of my lifestyle and like where I will need to peel back. But again, that's all like white noise. Like at the end of the day, it's like my gut is feeling this way and
it's a good feeling. It's not bad.
it's not bad.
It's
not
just
bad.
that you have to use that gut feeling to empower yourself
Correct.
and make that step because sometimes you're too comfortable.
Yeah. The other, ironically, acronym for fear is face everything and rise.
Yep.
Right? Rather than false,
everything and
right?
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's like that's the thing. You can look at it in both ways. Like, and one can either empower you, and the other one will keep you in this cycle that ultimately doesn't move you anywhere. Keeps you spinning in the same spot.
Remember, like, share, and subscribe. It's Nothing to Fear podcast, season 2, episode 10. I'm here with my co-host, Alex Webb. She's back in the house. And Alex, I see some disturbing things in the news. I don't know if you see it. I don't know if the producers see it. You see the what's going on in the health system in America. You see what's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of like the bacteria in our foods, parasites.
Bacteria in our foods and the investigation with Dr. Fauci about the COVID. You saw that? Mm-hmm. You think American lost trust in the system? In the health system?
Do I think America what?
Lost trust in the health system.
If they haven't now, I don't know. The people that still have trust in the health system are living under a rock, because there have been so many signs and reasons to not trust this healthcare system. Also, I think especially if like there are so many other countries that provide trustworthy levels of healthcare to their people that when you experience America's, it's just another level of pitiful.
COVID aftermath. I saw it. I don't want to get too much into it because it's an investigation. You know what I mean? But it was clear as day that something was off with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if we start talking about that, I'm gonna go conspiracy theory on everyone. So, but like a lot of the conspiracy theories these days are showing to prove that they're true. So, just saying.
Of course. It's not. I don't think it's conspiracy.
Right. At once, conspiracy theorists were considered radical, and now like it's coming to fruition, even though it always was. And like, yeah, I don't know. That is how absurd America has been operating.
We know.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think people rebuild trust? What do you think? Do you have any ideas?
People with one another, or people with like
The system.
a system?
The system.
I hope that I guess let's take Mom Domini for example. Like he's a good example of someone who's come in and I personally think has helped to rebuild trust.
You think he's here to rebuild it?
I think so. I think like who he is has
The
proven.
person?
I think he has shown up in ways that has had many New Yorkers loving him, pouring into him, and like he shows up for as many communities as he possibly can. But I think like in contrast, we're seeing at a larger scale how trust is breaking amongst the people, right? And America as a whole. I literally don't know how you rebuild trust because I don't trust. I don't even know how America would rebuild trust with me because I don't trust America. So
I don't trust.
you know what I mean?
I don't trust. I don't trust. I don't know if there's a good politician. If Mandani is a good politician, I mean, God go with him because he's not gonna last.
Why do you say that?
Because politics is politics.
There, I know so many
I know
people.
it comes with good and bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if there's good with it, you take it. But for most part, it's politics.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard, but I know so many amazing people in politics that are fighting the good fight, that are showing up because they still believe in change. And like that ultimately, I think, is where it all starts is like knowing that there are so many people out here that are
There's
still.
that part of politics that's there for a reason to try to convince you that there is hope. The hope is in the people. The hope is in unity.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
I don't know if they could really fight being good or show being good or being placed there to do a certain things or to act a certain way. It's going to help. I don't think so. I mean,
I definitely think the larger structure of the system and how politics are ran makes it complicated, right? Like it was the system that America runs in was created hundreds of years ago. So, yeah, if we're not changing that system, how are we making it relevant to how we need to be operating with love today?
we're talking
Especially because it wasn't created
we're
based.
talking on this topic. The cost of American dream. How does that look right now?
I mean, I think you would probably be a perfect person to answer this.
The cost of
Right?
American dream.
Yeah, you came to America from Jamaica.
Yep.
Like, was it worth it?
Of course, 150%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally. You can't even compare. You can't compare. You know what I mean? It doesn't get easier. The opportunity is just there, but you still have to figure it out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You still have to figure it out.
Well, I guess I'll put the question back to you. Like, what? I think the cost of the American dream is different for everybody, right? Depending on where they're coming from, what they want, what their dreams are, opportunity, of course. Like that's America is something that is clearly always going to be a place that gives opportunity.
I mean, for most part, like even for it's for me too. The housing affordability, right? Inflation. It doesn't make life easier. The interest rate in houses is crazy. It's like 6.9. You know what I mean? Living in New York, it make it not easier because they charge you for every little things. You know what I mean? You're trying to change your life and trying to make a step and trying to say, okay, I'm going to get that family house. But that thing comes with a lot. You know what I mean? You still have to think about the sustainability of having and maintaining that house. It's acquirable. I'm not crying, but for most people, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Paying rent month to month to month to month. Is that the American dream? The American dream should be equally across the board for everyone, give everyone an equal opportunity.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the American dream was. Well, I mean, you have to work. I know everyone have to work, but you have to give people the opportunity to put themselves in place to achieve all of that.
Yeah, correct. There's the idea of the American dream and then the reality of the American dream.
And the reality part is some people scared of it.
Well, because the reality is not everyone is equal in America.
Facts.
And once again, that's like how the country was created. It was not created off equality. So, yeah, I think that's
That's bad.
it's situational, but like, the cost of the American dream was worth it for you, and
You hear this one? This one is gonna cost an attention. Do you think masculinity is under pressure?
masculinity is under pressure.
Yeah.
Not for me. I keep on stepping into it. I think masculinity for men might be under pressure because
of everything that's going on right now in life, like of couple, the way of how people think,
like,
the way of how they have the female think nowadays.
tell me more.
Like the way female think don't make a male feel like he's masculine anymore, because I know they say that give female equal rights towards a job and everything. You know what I mean? Leave a man feeling like a female is making more money than him. That give that the platform, give you that conversation of who is the man in the house.
I need to take my glasses off for this one. If I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that, well, first of all, blanket statement, because the way females think is not necessarily one way, but you're saying a generalization, most females, because they want equality with men when it comes to wanting to have equal job opportunity,
There's nothing wrong with that.
etc.
I do not have a problem with that.
Correct.
It's the way after how they have the females thinking. You know what I mean? And the females, most of the females fall for it. Because in a household,
Yeah.
you need to have a leader. And for most part, the leader of the household should be a man. That's why men feel like they're losing their masculinity, because they don't have many says in the house anymore.
Okay, but a leader in a household could look like different things. Leader as in they lead by overseeing the kid. Like, for example, like what about stay-at-home dads who are who is the person that is raising the children on a day-to-day and the woman is out? And that man, I would argue that those men have even more confidence in their masculinity because they're like, yeah, I'm good with staying at home and raising the children while my wife goes and makes the money, right?
How do you feel it? You're good with that?
Yeah.
You're good with that? I'm
don't-
not good with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm be honest with you, like, a man should be a man. Number one, nowadays, even today's society, dating, I'm married. You know what I mean? I have a wife. I'm just talking based on what I'm seeing in society now. A female should give a man the leadership of the house. Because that's where everything starts breaking down. Because a man, some like me, I don't wanna leave everything up to the female.
What does leadership of the house look like? I guess is my first question.
Leadership, a man should go out there and prepare and make sure everything is good for the household. Prepare, work, and take care of the house. Make sure everything is okay. I'm not saying that the female should not work.
Yeah.
I agree with it. You know what I mean? But there's a stance you have to take where you understand that the man should lead the house. That's why, from my perspective, I think that's why we have so much problems in the world. And I'm not saying that a female cannot make decisions. Of course, you're going to make decisions based on the situations. But for me, I want to be able to get up and go out there and work and provide for the family and make sure that everything is okay. And me personally, what you work is yours, but what I work is for us.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So what you're working, if I need help, I could like, hey wifey, hey babes, I need some help this week. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be dependent on a female, because if you allow a female to make the decisions of certain aspect in life, they're probably making an emotional stunt part. You understand what I'm saying? Which is more than likely sometimes doesn't work out. I know it doesn't sit well with you. You can say your piece.
Yeah, no,
having a conversation here.
no, yeah, I fully obviously disagree, but that's the point of the conversation. I guess, like, I want to keep like getting more clarity. Is can a man not be in their full masculinity if they're leading the house from within by taking care of the house and raising the children?
Female not gonna allow him to do that.
My brother and sister-in-law, my sister-in-law wants to go out there, make the money. She is like, does a million things before 10 a.m. And my brother also works, but he also is primarily doing a lot of the childcare.
That's one situation, and
Correct.
he still lead the house, the household,
I would argue that she leads the household.
and that's for me. I ain't got no problem with that situation, but for me, that situation is wrong in my side.
Yes, yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course. I hear your side. I think it's how, like, what does masculinity even mean?
Masculinity means that men confuse, like they don't know how to do it no more because it's so hard. They make it so hard for a man to really think like a man anymore. Like no lie, you know what I mean? So that's where the household start breakdown with the child. You know what I mean? Like a child should grow up and especially it doesn't matter what sex. You should grow up and see a man as a leader, not in a dominant way of abusive and stuff like that, but a leader in a way of leading the way, providing for the family. That's how it should be looked at.
What does thinking like a man sound like or look like?
Thinking like a man is owning up to your responsibilities.
And I think men can do that just as much as I think, like, we're almost talking about, I don't know. I think masculinity and femininity is one topic, but then there's like gender roles, right?
Yeah.
I think there are some people that prescribe to the traditional gender roles of, wanting men to carry out their gender role and women carry out theirs.
It shouldn't be like that. Like for instance, like in the East, like India, certain countries in the East, right? The men lead the house. They provide for the family. The female is there to comfort and make sure that the man think clearly and keep him going. Men rather, I see a lot of female talking about it. A man will rather you respect them. That's how they see your love coming towards them. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? A female love, respect. Because female be talking down and a lot of men. You know what I'm saying? They don't be listening to their peers. That's how relationships start deteriorating.
I think everyone needs to respect each other. We don't have any
across the board.
Across the board.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's situational. Like, it really is. And if a woman is supposed to be providing like the emotional support to a man, but then previously your thought was that if women were in charge of the household, they would be too emotional.
Yeah, but let's get straight to the point. We're talking about leadership, fatherhood, and accountability. You understand what I'm saying? Straight to the point. Where accountability is where you know your priorities, you know your rules, you know your responsibilities. You know what I mean? As a man, you know what I mean? Without no form of ego, where you show no form of masculinity and your wife or your partner, anything I'm talking,
Yeah,
across the board. You know what I mean? It's just that the identity is there that you know that that's your task. That's you. You're responsible for that.
Yeah. How would it show up, or how would this dynamic play out in like a queer relationship? The masculinity and femininity.
I mean, you would have to, depending on how you see yourself, in a queer relationship, you will have to own up to the responsibility of how you guys see yourself in a relationship.
I think identity is so complex, and the dynamics in which we like carry out these roles is so complex. But you're saying masculinity these days, you believe that masculinity these days is being jeopardized.
Of course, because of what's happening in relationships, in the world, in how a female look at a man nowadays, because of the same thing we're talking about, money, cash. Can cash give people power? Not everyone, but in most scenarios. If you're making more money, you can't talk to me.
Agree to disagree
Understood?
on this one.
So,
Agree to disagree on this one.
this is Nothing to Fear podcast. I'm happy to have my co-host back this
Me
week.
too. We got to get comments on that conversation.
We're gonna follow up with this conversation because this conversation gotta be explainable in the next episode. I'm BlonkoPro.
Alex Webb.
Until next week, this is Nothing to Fear podcast, the People's Podcast.
Nothing to fear, yeah, we they are clear. BlonkoPro voice in your ear. Talk life, talk craft, real truth appear. Welcome to the podcast, nothing to fear.